1st, 2022. Let me be the first, or at least next person, to wish you a happy new year. Hope you got a chance to reflect, get quiet, think about 2021, what went right, what went wrong. Think about things that you might do different in 2022. I know I certainly have. And just to give you a taste of something I'm doing different, I have a buddy of mine, Jason, out in Fresno, who has been talking about writing down his daily goals, daily activities for quite some time. This individual has created some Burr content that will be loaded in the course over this weekend. It was one of those extras. So I'm going to do my best to follow the lead of somebody who I consider to be the best real estate investor in my market. And I'm actually using my Do the Work notebooks. I don't know if you've seen these, but these are something I've added. I have something that I'm using called the brand. Basically, I'm writing in everything I'm trying to do all day. And yes, I am looking to get healthy, so I'm doing a separate notebook for my workout of the day. So I don't know. We shall see. This is something that Jason does. I am going to copy it and see how it goes. So far, it feels pretty good. I'm going to put those right there. Hopefully they balance. Right, but let's first off congratulate Dan and Trin. You get the honor of being the first couple to post a win in 2022. You will go on the stack for this weekend's numbers. Congratulations, Dan and Trin. Thank you very much. First, about the course, kind of good news, bad news. First, the bad news. The course is going up. I've been telling you that since November 1st. The course is going up. Second piece of bad news is, frankly, I did not get all the bonus content I wanted. I've been tracking bonus content since November 1st from about 8 contributors. And as of this morning, I only have 3 of them. So that is the bad news. So the good news, let me pick up Sonny. Sonny wants to say Happy New Year to everybody. Happy New Year. So for the good news, because I still need to load all this content, I'm going to actually push the price increase to Monday morning. I think Monday's good. It's the weekend. I got stuff to do. So the price increase will go in effect Monday. The prices will jump up a little bit less than I expected. What I will do is take the main course to $319 and then the mentor course to $649. So they are definitely going up. They will go up Monday. But this also means that thanks to this daily work over here, I will be tracking my additional content creators, hopefully getting those by February 1st, and then I will raise it the rest of the way. So again, the price is going up. You do have 2 days if you didn't buy it yesterday to get it. But yeah, that's what we are doing there. So I don't know if you saw this yesterday. It kind of hit all of my feeds yesterday. It looks like we lost Betty White yesterday. If you don't know who Betty White is, obviously I think she's best known for Golden Girls, but she also holds the record, Guinness Book of World Record for longest TV career. She was on the TV or television for over 60 years. Found an article with Ryan Reynolds and Betty White talking about 4 pieces of advice. It actually turned out to be 5 that I thought I would share with you. I think Betty White given us some, some food for thought is pretty interesting. So let me just give it to you right now. When Betty White talks about passion, she is very clear that everyone needs passion. If you live without passion, you go through life without leaving footprints. Think about that for a minute. I definitely want to leave some footprints. I've been coming to you daily now for over 1,000 days. So I agree. Everyone needs passion. If you don't have passion, I mean, what are we doing, right? Kind of interesting. On attitude, Betty White is always been known as an optimist. She doesn't want to dwell or focus heavily on the downside. Life is far more enjoyable when you are an optimist, and I frankly have to agree. On determination, don't know if you know this, but Betty White was not always got a yes answer as an actress. She basically says, don't give up, keep showing up, keep doing the work. which we will talk about in a minute. On work and interest. Here is one for you folks. Retirement is not a word in her vocabulary. This is one I have personally struggled with, right? I've talked about, being retired at 45, blah, blah, blah. I don't know about you, but some people say I still work every day, right? Certainly Olivia would say that. I don't know. I don't think I work. I think I'm following my passion. I love doing this. I love helping. The notes that you guys send me are amazing. And these notes that you are sending are increasing as the One Rental at a Time brand and story grows. So yeah, retirement is not something I will say. It is frankly why I got comfortable talking about helping a million people, because I know that will be a lifetime goal. And then finally, on career advice, do the work. I'm not kidding. That is what Betty White said. Do the work. Right? Be prepared. Do not wing it. If you are going to be an actor or an actress, work on your craft. If you are going to be a real estate investor, work on your craft. Do the work. So again, shout out Betty White. She passed just a few weeks before her 100th birthday. Amazing. I don't know if you saw this, but George Gammon. George Gammon is an economist, someone that I've followed for quite some time. He just put out a video that frankly I put out 6 months ago, talking about the 1970s and talking about price controls. Yes, folks, remember when I did my 1970s video, one of the things I said we have to watch out for is, will this administration enact price controls? That would be bad, in case you're wondering. But here we go. George Gammon is comparing the 1971 period where price controls were enacted by Richard Nixon with what he now believes Joe Biden will do in 2022. Again, price controls. Richard Nixon froze wages, froze costs. He basically did it. Where is it? Yep, there it is. Because of shortages and things of going out of control. Again, these are things that he thinks coming. There are three things that will happen if the administration enacts price controls, which again, George Gammon is calling for. I am not calling for it, but I will certainly agree. Just like I said 6 months ago, it is my ultimate fear. It will be a disaster. Disaster. What will happen is supply will go down. Yes, folks, we are in a supply chain funk. One way to make sure supplies get worse and those shelves stay bare is to enact price controls. Number two, quality. Quality will go down. If you tell a manufacturer of widgets that you can only sell your thing for $1, but it costs $2 to make, you either A, don't make it, or B, you create crap and it doesn't sell, or it's yucky quality. And then finally, as we learned in the 1970s, I'm glad more and more people are coming around to what I talked about 6 or 9 months ago. 1973, this is when price controls were released. And as I shared with you 6 months ago, price controls were enacted as a 90-day must do it, Americans, blah, blah, blah. 90 days turned into 2 years. When price controls were lifted, inflation quadrupled. Yeah, you want to have a real problem? Establish price controls, see supply go away, quality go down. Then at some point you go, oops, and then you come back. And then finally, George gave some great examples of rent control as an example. He talked about going through the Bronx and Berlin, and talked about coming in from a outsider's view. If you were to look at the Bronx with rent control and Berlin without it after the war, you would assume that the Bronx was bombed and not Berlin because of all the boarded up, not taking care of housing. It's price controls, no bueno, not a good option. So again, George Gammon is out talking about that today. I watched the video. Nice work, George. Good news is I brought this to you 6 or 9 months ago. So Hopefully you were watching. Next up, we got Cathie Wood. Again, Cathie Wood. Again, we did a survey last week, and about 80% of you said she was lucky, which frankly I agree with. 20% said legend. Well, we're gonna know. We're gonna know this year. Cathie Wood has basically banked the rest of her reputation on the following. Cathie Wood has basically pushed all of her chips into the middle of the table and said we are going to have deflation. She basically sees deflation coming about with three things. One is the cycle or uplift of innovation. She is saying we are in the biggest innovation cycle and it is starting to compound on each other. Number two, creative destruction. She believes there are a lot of short-sighted companies that have been maybe like Visa and MasterCard who have been worried about earnings per share and dividends and not investing. She thinks creative destruction is going to wipe these companies out. Not saying MasterCard and Visa, but that was just an example. And then finally, she believes that suppliers have been double or tripling orders, and we are about to see some huge price cuts. Pretty much like I told you, right? I told you we should move Christmas to the summer. That way we can all save some money, but nobody wanted to do that. I get it. So again, this is what Cathie is thinking. She believes we are in the cusp of deflation cycle. I completely disagree. Now, again, I get tech. I've sold tech. I live in the tech world. All of that is true. I believe Cathie Wood is missing the point about wage cycles and just how severe the supply chain will be pretty much all year. So we shall see. We're going to know very soon if Cathie is lucky or a legend. A couple other things to talk about. Looks like the FAA is warning about travel, not because of the virus, but just basically, guys, be careful. Get ready for delays. Obviously, we've seen a lot of carriers cancel flights. It is still going on. About 1,600 yesterday, I believe. Now they are warning about air traffic control, not having everyone there, so they may have to even cancel more flights. A lot of people are catching this very contagious thing, and it is causing surprising issues with a lot of stuff going on in the country. So hopefully this peaks and rolls over pretty much like all the other ones have done. Hopefully that happens this month, so we shall see. One of the things that I am watching, I don't have an answer, but this is what I'm watching. Once again, we set a record for amount of cash parked in the overnight reverse repurchase market, reverse repo market. We set it at 1.905 trillion. Let's call it $2 trillion. Now, by comparison, you have any idea how much money was parked 12 months ago? 12 months ago was 9.6 billion. 2 trillion versus 9 billion. Folks, that's a lot of zeros missing. There's a lot of cash in the system. People don't know where to put it. Really what this tells me is we got a lot of people who think the market's overvalued. That's what I think what we have. We have the everything bubble. I think we have a lot of people like, I'm not putting cash into that. Yes, I know inflation is real. I will just sit on the sidelines. I don't really have another explanation. I don't know why we continue to set records here. The problem is when you have helicopter money, it's got to go somewhere. Right now it's sitting in cash, which is going to be, that will unwind this year. So that's something I am certainly watching out for. So the big news of the day, the big thing to watch for me, I believe I talked about this with Ty yesterday. I believe it was posted at 6 o'clock yesterday. I believe the biggest thing we have to watch and answer is when does inflation peak? If inflation peaks in March or before, I believe the Fed's stance and the 3 interest rate rise and all of that will kind of play out. If, however, inflation peaks after March, we may have to see Jerome Powell get a little more Paul Volcker-like and move forward. So my question for you today, let's get some audience participation. Will inflation peak before March or after March? Simply type in the comments below, before or after. Last audience participation we had, we talked about inflation being more or less than 3% by the end of the year. And every single one of you, I've never had a survey like this. Every single one of you said above 3%. So this is, basically one rental at a time community is saying the Fed is wrong. And frankly, I agree with you. There's no chance it's 3% by the end of the year. So let me just look at my notes. I got a lot of stuff been bouncing around. I guess the last thing to talk about is we had 42 members, 42 people sign up for the course, How to Get Started One Rental at a Time, yesterday. I want to welcome all of you. Do me a favor, ask to join the Facebook group, One Rental at a Time Works. I will approve you sometime today. And if you do yourself a favor. Introduce yourself to the audience. Tell them your buy box. Tell them where you invest. Ask some questions. The One Rental at a Time community is amazing. It's amazing here on YouTube. It's amazing in the Facebook group. Do yourself a favor. Introduce yourself. Start to meet new people. And of course, have a wonderful day. Lastly, at 8 a.m. today, because it is Saturday, I will be going live for 1 hour. So I will see you there. If no one shows, I have some topics to talk about. Otherwise, I will see you there. So again, we keep rolling. Every day means every day. Take care of yourself. Yep, puppies are sleeping right there. Take care, everyone. Bye.